Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Bob, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get started with VR development using the Quest 2 and Unity. Let's dive in. So in order to really get started, you obviously need a headset, a Quest headset. I've got the Quest 2, it's my first headset actually. It's quite a bit better than the Quest 1. So if you haven't already bought a headset, definitely go for the Quest 2. Then, assuming that you have already used it, you have installed the Oculus app on your phone as well, which is required for the initial setup. In order to enable developing for the Quest, we need to enable the developer mode on the Quest 2. Just turn the Quest on, then head over to the Oculus app. From the Oculus app, go to settings, make sure it is connected with your Quest. From that, go to more settings, developer mode, and enable developer mode. If you haven't already registered, you will get a pop-up saying that you have to register on their website. You have to fill in some details, log in, and your Quest should be all ready to go. Go ahead and connect your Quest 2 to your computer. Once you've got it connected, make sure to head over to your Quest and select Allow. We can put that aside for now. We can head over to the computer and get our Unity all set up. So, in order to install Unity, we first need something called Unity Hub. Unity Hub is the place where it manages different Unity versions and also the projects that you've done so far. First of all, you need to add a license, and don't worry, you can actually have a free license. So you head up to settings, license management, and then activate a new license, and just select the free version basically. And once you've done that, we can head over to installs and add a new Unity version. So it's required to have at least 2019.4, but you can also opt for the 2020.1 version if you want to try it out. Then we can select some add-ons needed. I highly recommend Visual Studio, which is a very nice IDE to write your code in. But you definitely will need the Android build support, because we'll need to create a build and transfer it to the Android system on the Quest. So go ahead and finish this whole installation by clicking on Next, agreeing, and clicking on Done. Once you have it installed, it should be visible in your installs. So then we only need to create a new project. From a new project, select New, select 3D, give it a name, and select Create. Once Unity has loaded, we will get this screen. I'm not going to go over into much detail here. I'm just going to tell you the bare essentials needed to get started with the development. For that, we need to first of all install some modules that enable the communication between Unity and the Quest 2. Head over to Package Manager. So go ahead and click on Package Manager and click on this little cog icon in order to show advanced project settings. Enable Preview Packages. If you have a previous version, you might also see that button up here already at the Package Manager. Go to the Unity registry to search through all the packages that are available, and then click on XR here. The first one we need to install is an XR plugin management. So go ahead and install that. So the XR plugin management actually enables the XR builds that we will need to do. Another thing we will need for that is specifically for Oculus, so we need to install the Oculus XR plugin. And the last thing we will need is the XR Interaction Toolkit. This plugin has a lot of scripts that we can use for rapid XR development. And if a pop-up indeed pops up for the XR Interaction Toolkit, click on Yes, and it will restart. Once it has restarted, we are ready to continue. So just click out of the Package Manager. And now we just need to configure some settings in order to enable the build for the Quest. For that, go to Build Settings, click on Android, and select the ASTC. Click on the Oculus Quest 2, it should already be connected, and click on Switch Platform. And once it has switched platforms, you should have the build and run options here. We can't do that quite yet, we need a few more settings to configure, which is underneath Player Settings. And then from Player Settings, make sure you have the Android tab selected. Fill in a default company and a name for your product. Scroll down and you will we'll see the minimum API level, which for the Quest 2 we will need to select Android 10. Click on XR plugin management and enable Oculus. Once we've got that already, the whole thing is set up, and now all we need to do is create our first little scene so you can see how we can interact with the Quest headset and the controllers. So we're going to make a very simple scene. On this side you have all the objects present in the world that you see here. In order to add objects to it, right click, go to 3D object and select a plane. This is just a basic surface which we can scale up by pressing R and scaling it out a little bit. Then we can also make it a little bit more interesting by selecting some random objects. I'm going to just select the sphere, which we can move around using these arrows and W, and duplicate it using Command D. And we're just going to place a few spheres just so we have something to look at and make it a little bit more interesting. There we go. And now we've got a little scene set up. All we need is to actually tell the camera where we want it to be displayed. In order to do that, right click again. Instead of adding a 3D object, we're going to add XR, device based, and then we want to have a stationary rig or a room scale XR rig. I'm just going to choose for stationary right now. And as you can see, we now have an object where we have a camera, and on the left hand side, two new objects have been added, the XR interaction manager and the XR rig. The XR rig actually connects all these stream input data from your Quest to Unity, and we will be able to read the data from here as well. So if you open up this XR rig, there's a few new objects in it. There's a camera, which will just be the lenses on the Oculus Quest, and we've got a left-hand controller and a right-hand controller. Those should already initially be connected to the Quest 2 since we have selected it from the XR device-based menu. So once we've done that, we can actually go back to File, Build Settings, click on Build and Run, give it a name, and we'll build. So now just a little while later, it will automatically download the APK file that it builds, load it onto the Quest, and then it's time to head over to the Quest to check out what we have just made. So once we're back up in the Quest, let's go to apps, and we have to select unknown sources from the list here in order to make it show up. And there it is, our VR game. So now it's just going to load in, just as a regular game. Obviously you've still got the Made with Unity label in here right now. But as you can see, the game loads and we are in our own VR world. So here you see all the spheres that we just placed into the object, into the scene. And we also have the two hand trackers, as you can see. You see the rays coming out of them. So if I just move my controllers, you can see that they're properly tracking within this world as well. We can look around, got a little sun here, and so there you go. That's how you set up. So there you go, in under 10 minutes, we created a full development setup for the Quest 2 with Unity, so you can create those VR games you've been dreaming about. I hope to see you in the next one.